Guys, I'm here for for the start of a special review series. A review series I am calling the Not So Scares of Halloween. The purpose of this is a series that looks at movies or TV specials of episodes or whatnot that fit with the Halloween theme but are not necessarily a horror movie, as I'm not a big horror movie guy, personal preference. And that'll be capped off on October the 31st when I review the Halloween episode of Power Rangers Dino Charge, The Ghostest with the Mostest, which technically aired last Saturday on the 17th, but they're airing it again on Halloween. That's when I will review that. So, the first episode of this very special review series I am looking at is The Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown. The Charlie Brown Halloween special that I have pretty much seen every year since my childhood, because it's been airing every year since around this time for my childhood, as of the Charlie Brown Christmas, which I will also review when I get to my very special Christmas related videos in the month of December. So, it's The Great Pumpkin Star Charlie Brown. Starts with a visual thing of Linus and Lucy, and they're out looking for a pumpkin. And Linus picks two pumpkins, but Lucy doesn't like it, so eventually Linus picks out a big pumpkin, and that's the one Lucy likes. They take it back, they carve it, and Linus doesn't like that Lucy's carving it because she didn't say that they were going to carve it. And then after seeing something with Charlie Brown raking the Halloween leaves and all that, with Snoopy helping put the last one on, Linus with a sucker goes into the leaves and knocks them down for Charlie Brown. And then after that we get into the main bulk of this special, which is we see Linus writing a letter to the Great Pumpkin, who is essentially like Santa Claus, as it's all the same thing. Now, Charlie Brown sees this and he asks when will Linus stop believing in the Great Pumpkin? And Linus responds when Charlie Brown stops believing in that fat guy in red who always comes around Christmas, meaning Santa Claus and whatnot. Which Charlie Brown says that they are divided by like some denominational things or something like that. I don't really understood that. Lucy sees this and can't believe that Linus does this every year. And Sally even enters and tries to find out from the Great Pumpkin, but she's also finding out about Trick or Treat in this special, which is the next part of it, in which also Charlie Brown has finally been invited to a Halloween party, which surprises Lucy. There's a nice little visual here where to mail this letter, Lucy wants to know how Linus is going to mail this letter when he can't reach the mailbox and Lucy isn't going to help him. So Linus uses his blanket, grabs hold of the mailbox handle, puts it down, and sends the letter through the wind, and the wind just happens to knock it into the mailbox. Yeah, it's impractical, but it's what it is. So then it's Halloween night, and everyone's going trick-or-treating except Linus, who is going to go sit in this pumpkin patch and wait for the Great Pumpkin. So, Sally's finding out what trick-or-treat is. She asks if she can go trick-or-treating, and they originally say yes, but then Sally decides to sit in the pumpkin patch with Linus because of her crush that she has on Linus. And then all the gang goes trick-or-treating, except Snoopy, who's dressed up as a World War I flying ace, and he's essentially going to be fighting the Red Baron in a small little scene that Charlie Brown explains while they're trick-or-treating. And Lucy has to keep getting a piece of candy for Linus that she doesn't like because of the fact that Linus is always sitting in this Halloween patch every year. And Charlie Brown keeps getting a rock. Every place he goes to, he gets a rock for Halloween, for trick-or-treat. That's odd, isn't it? So then the Halloween party comes, and Lucy and all them, use Charlie Brown's head as a model for how to carve their pumpkin. Snoopy has snuck into the Halloween party, and as they're bobbing for apples, Lucy and Snoopy come up with an apple, in which Lucy overreacts to the dog germs of Snoopy. So then out in the pumpkin patch, Sally's getting very impatient about this whole thing of Linus and the Great Pumpkin, but Linus is ensuring Lucy that the Great Pumpkin will come. So, and Linus sees something rise out of the pumpkin patch, but it's just Snoopy, and Linus faints. Because it's just Snoopy and he thinks it's the Great Pumpkin. He gets up, he asks Sally if he fainted, and if the Great Pumpkin, what kind of toys he left. But the Great Pumpkin didn't leave any because the Great Pumpkin didn't come. Sally gets so upset because she missed Trick or Treat that she leaves Linus alone in the pumpkin patch, in which Linus says if the Great Pumpkin comes, he'll put in a good word for you or something. And then he starts saying that he said if, and that'll get someone on a Great Pumpkin's denial list automatically or something like that. And eventually Lucy takes him out of the pumpkin patch because it's cold and puts him in bed. So the next day, Charlie Brown and Linus are having a discussion about... Charlie Brown asks Linus if he stayed all night in the pumpkin patch waiting for the Great Pumpkin. Linus says yes. And Charlie Brown says, don't worry, Linus, I've done some stupid things in my life too. And that's when Linus gets all upset and says, stupid, it wasn't stupid, and he goes on this rant about the Great Pumpkin and all that stuff. Yeah, like I said, this is a classic thing to watch on Halloween, and it's what I wanted to start with for this special series of Halloween-rated content that's not necessarily horror, because Halloween can have a very different meaning for different people. So that is the first episode of the Not So Scares of Halloween. I'll be up tomorrow of something else non-Halloween related. It might be a review of The Black Cauldron from Walt Disney, which can fit into the Halloween theme. Despite not being a Halloween movie, it can fit into the Halloween theme. So I'll be up with that tomorrow night, hopefully. So I'm going to start a playlist of all these videos, and it'll be called The Not So Scares of Halloween. So if you like the video, like button is down there, subscribe button is down there, and thank you for watching. Bye.